here we are on Cloud Kingdom, and in the upper right-hand corner, we have our teal Protoss player from Alternate Attacks. It is Socke. He's the winner of the last game, but he needs one more to tie things up against FXO Korea. And there, guys, down here in the bottom left-hand corner, still wearing the tag Choya. It is not Choya. It is, in fact, the Zerg player, FXO.Whale.
All right, so Delphi and Choya have played 4 games in a row now, and normally we don't see that in the team. No, FXO.Whale coming in now for FXO.Whale is another one of those guys that has some good team league successes, a lot of online cup stuff. You just don't really see him in the GSL sort of leagues very often. I'm not sure if he's ever actually cracked into Code A, but he is a pretty consistent player still in the online things that he does participate in.
All right, well, let's see here now as Socke rolling on the map and starting already with a pylon in a position that it only takes 2 structures to wall this off afterwards. So we'll see if he decides to go for that in full wall and stay ultra defensive and try and hide some sort of tech, or if he'll have a little bit something different in mind. Likely it's going to be a small gap, and not sure if Socke is going to favor a quick 2-base attack or if he's going to try and play a very macro-oriented style here. It can be tricky to play that against Zerg players, especially as you move towards the late game with as many running paths and flanking opportunities as there are in the middle of the map.
I am actually curious about the choice for Whale, and that made me actually a little bit more curious about how FXO and other Korean teams actually, you know, first of all, how much research do they do against these foreigner teams that they're not playing all the time? Like, do they know Socke is a really good European player, or because he hasn't played in any GSL stuff?
No, but I mean, like, to a degree, when you're so invested in the scene, you play it, you know, on a regular basis. Sure, I'm sure your focus is on the Korean scene, and yes, maybe we have a more international perspective because we see all teams at all different times, but I'm sure you would still be aware of them. How much research you would do on them, I'm not sure, but I would figure that you would be aware of them.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just like a quick Liquipedia and TLPD lookup, or or, you know, search play XP to see if Socke's ever been mentioned kind of thing. But I mean, I really am curious, do they go back and watch games, replays, etc., or do they just kind of you know, get a general feel? But either way, yeah, I would love to be part of that like decision-making process, just to see how Korean teams sort of handle this. How do they approach playing foreign teams like this that they might not be more familiar with?
Everyone's asleep. They just wake up one person. They're like, it's
your turn. Just go win a game.
Go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I do believe, I don't think that's is it a gap?
Totally a gap, bro.
Yeah.
Big old gap.
It's a gap, bro?
Gap, bro.
All right, well.
Chabra.
Chabra. I don't even know where to go from here.
That's a Shootmania player.
That's right.
Chabra.
Oh, I know. I'm just like, where do I go from here? 4-minute third hatch coming up for Whale at the moment. Of course, nothing is out of the ordinary. Things are as standard can be. Not deciding to go for that silly foreigner approach that Delphi did and go for quick gas. Although I thought it was pretty cool and I liked watching it.
It's so silly, though.
Photon cannon is now up, so he can cancel the pylon. Loses 25 resources and the probe, though, so it was worth it for those Zerglings to test the front. They're able to get in there into a little bit of damage, and it does justify their cost at the very least.
Yep, Whale's second base is up now. Third one is about halfway done. Socke is actually probably just going to stick to 2-base for a little bit. Doesn't really need to try and jump the gun and take that third Nexus, especially against Zerg, where they have a lot of options with Speedlings and even Roaches or Banelings early on to try and shut down that third base. Usually you'll see a Protoss player with about 10 to 12 gateway units before they try to make a move for their own third, but Zerg players, they don't care. They'll just spam hatcheries everywhere and hope for the best. Actually, the scouting that Whale's had so far, he basically is not too concerned. It looks like he is actually sending an Overlord across through the main of Socke as well, checking out the gas, checking out any production facilities he might be able to spot. But for the most part, nothing scary, nothing lethal out of Socke just yet.
The biggest read he'll get is if he sees this Forge here in a second, because it was +1 started before Warp Gate research, so and he does actually see the Forge is working, and that's a pretty good note for him, because a lot of Protoss players will then drop down a couple more gateways and try and put on some pressure, possibly behind a bit of additional tech as well. But Socke's not put up gas number 2 and 3, or 3 and 4 yet. There's gas number 3, but with this many minerals, robotics facility is on the way. You only need 100 gas to make each immortal, but we're probably going to see some gateways following up in a second.
Yep, very possible. That is a pretty strong 2-base. If you can get a couple of Immortals out and a gaggle of sentries to be able to protect everything, it can actually power through quite a lot of Zerg units before actually taking much damage. Looks like Whale still has not really invested in any fighting units, though. A round of 11 drones happening right now, adding on 3 more gas as well. So actually 3 initial gas.
Yeah.
So this is actually the first gas that he's harvested at all this game, and I'm curious what he's going to be moving into next. Robotics facility will be done in just a moment for Socke, as he is building a sentry. It makes me think Immortal Sentry is going to be the ticket for him. 3 more gateways being added on as well.
Yeah, it could be that big 3 Immortal push here coming up in a second, especially with the 4 gateways in place already, with the +1 weapons. Those Immortal pushes are incredibly strong on this map because of the way that you can kind of move through and attack in multiple places here over at the 3rd. There's a lot of places to put down forward pylons as well, but I want to note, look at this map coverage from Whale. I mean, he's got Overlords in every one of the right positions, or Zerglings where there are Xel'Naga towers in place, and he just has brilliant coverage. He should be able to detect anything that makes its way out.
Yep, Whale did just sack an Overlord to gain all that information. He is actually a little bit supply block right now, but he has multiple Overlords coming in to deal with that issue. He did not actually see many fighting units from Socke, so he knows he has a little bit of time to get prepared. At least 14 Lings coming out now. You can see the little escort here for this probe. I'm not sure if he's coming over to try to build a Nexus. He is hitting 400 minerals, though, so it's possible.
It's possible, but I don't know if it would stick or not, especially with Immortal number 2 done and 3 more gateways coming up. So this is actually going to be a total of 7 gates, and there's the Warp Prism. So 2 Immortal push with a bunch of units up at the front. Now, he could do something where he expands right now and then attacks behind this, which he may decide to do, but he'll, of course, need all of his available resources after that in order to reinforce this position.
Well, we'll just keep an eye on the minimap as Socke is starting to move now, trying to take out Overlords along the way. Looks like the Lings of Whale are actually approaching in that 3rd base of Socke. They're actually going to get there before Socke is able to do anything, so looks like it's probably a good thing he didn't have a Nexus building there, because it could totally be forfeit at this point. But now Socke knows that this huge number of Lings is all the way across the map. Here he's actually discovering a lot more, and Whale, excuse me, I almost said Tyr because I knew it wasn't Choya. Whale is actually possibly going to run all the way to the natural. It looks like it could be really tough to try and get in there against that huge number of sentries and Immortals.
There is a second photon cannon coming up now, so there will be pretty good defense in just a second. He probably needs to slap down a structure here, though, momentarily, and does. There's another pylon coming up, so we'll be able to delay for a while, but Socke, I think, needs to get on this attack here soon. Finally starting to make his way up. Look at this. Whale is already pulled completely away from this base, and he's going to lead with a lot of Banelings up at the front.
All right, so the Banelings will be crashing in to the pylons and cannons. The door has been opened. Whale is getting a lot of damage in. Socke is attacking just that 3rd base. Oh no, lots of probes. All he has to do is hit X or explode them. There he does. Lots of probes going down. Socke, all he did was clear out that ineffectual 3rd base. There were no drones there to actually take out, but his base is overrun. Socke has to basically kill Whale with the units he's got standing right now. He doesn't have any forward pylons or anything. He's got oh, he actually does 1 forward pylon. I did lie, and he's got the Warp Prism there, but as the warp gates become unpowered, essentially everything he's got on the field now is all he's going to have to be able to continue fighting, and his main is getting overrun with Lings and Banelings.
Yes, it is, but he is going to be able to bypass these spine crawlers, at least for a little while, and he may be able to shoot a couple of those down before they get reseeded here. Oh, nice job transfusing those up over and over again. Socke is losing everything back at home, though. Does he have enough to be able to stave off this attack? I'm not sure if he does. I mean, he needs to outright kill Whale with this.
Whale's making 48 Lings, so eventually those sentries will run out of energy. Eventually the Immortal will get taken down, and the fact that everything is unpowered back at home, he's already lost a lot of workers as well. He's not warping in any more units right now. He's just building pylons just to be able to even do that. He shows up with another Immortal and 3 sentries, but look at these probes dying 1 by 1. He's got a cannon and a Zealot back home trying to keep everything at bay, but with these spine crawlers alone, Whale is already looking a little bit safer, and as the Lings continue to pour out and the Immortal goes down, I have to imagine this game is not going to last much longer.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's just 21 supply up for Socke. He goes down, and now we have a 4-2 advantage for FXO, and Socke, unfortunately, he had a very strong attack, but just died to that huge Baneling push around the back.
That's right, and actually that was game 6, which means we actually are unfortunately done Because
yeah, we were told that we knew going into this that aTn only had 4 players available. We didn't want to say anything initially, though, because we didn't know how it would shake out. But yes, that is the last game of the night with Socke going down. That means all 4 players of aTn that were available at the time did get eliminated, and thus they are down. And unfortunately, 0-3 in their division.
Yep.
Thus, they will be out of the tournament and will have to requalify through the amateur division.
No way to advance, but FXO now
they're 3-0.
They're 3-0, so they get to play in the up and downs versus one of our premier division teams. That has not 100% been decided yet, so we'll see after next week's games how all that that playoff bracket will sort of shape up, or how the up and downs will shake up as well. But either way, you know, great games from aTnType. The games that they did play were very entertaining, and you know, they're going to have to figure out maybe Alternate needs to recruit some more players and just try to enter on their own next time around in the amateur division. But yeah, good games from Socke and Delphi there. Being able to take out any FXO Korea players is quite a feat already. So great games. Thanks very much for participating. Better luck next season. That's
right. So, guys, that is going to be it for us tonight. Tomorrow we are going to be back live with yet more Contender Division action. We're actually going to have Dignitas going up against Empire. So it should make for a fun match, especially because Empire is going to be fighting for their lives. But Dignitas is 1-1 right now, so they really want to push ahead and hopefully join either Anasosa or Coronte up at the top of the division. So that's it for us tonight. Like we said before, we have a bunch of giveaways available on tinyurl.com/IPLTT-Esports3. Again, tinyurl.com/IPLTT-Esports3, where our friends at TT Esports have given us a mouse and a mouse pad this week to give away. We still have more giveaways yet to come. You can follow the IGN Pro League on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube as @IGNProLeague. And if you're watching on Twitch TV/IGNProLeague, please do click on the follow button. It really does help us out.
All right, yeah, and if you feel so inclined, @AskJoshy and @KevinNaki, we're pretty cool guys, and we tweet a lot of cool stuff. You may want to ignore Kevin's for a little while, though, as he's going to be tweeting a lot about baseball, and no one cares about baseball. But the Giants won today, and you know we work in San Francisco, actually 2 blocks away from AT&T Park, so that could be cool. If the Giants keep winning, we could maybe go to a World Series game right after work. That'd be awesome.
Well, yeah, that's the only reason I wanted the Giants to keep winning was so the Cardinals could play them, and then eventually I could just go to a Cardinals game out here and be that guy who's in the opposing stands.
Yeah.
But that's what I do.
And I pretend not to know you if we win.
All right. Well, there we go, guys. That's it for us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific. I hope you guys will join us then. See you later.